For a start, we'll be looking at the front pages of the newspaper. And of course, we're starting with Nigeria's first Friday newspaper, the Leadership Friday. On the front page of Leadership this morning, after 3 positive growths, Nigeria's GDP slows to 4.03%. After 3 positive growths, Nigeria's GDP slows to 4.03%. Federal government blames impact of COVID-19. Dismisses looming food crisis. Expert prefer solutions, says stronger growth required. Well, joining us this morning to discuss this story is Dr. Nanyel at the Rivers State University in Port Harcourt and Dr. Tayo Bello, and energy expert. Okay, Dr. Tayo Bello already joining us. Good morning, Dr. Tayo.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Thank you for joining us on Inside Nigeria this morning.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tayo.
Yeah.
Development economics and energy expert. Dr. Tayo, you have seen the front page of Leadership newspaper this morning.
Hello, can I go ahead?
Yes, you have seen the front page of our newspaper this morning talking about the GDP slowing down to 4.3%. So what is your answer?
Thanks so much. My name is Dr. Tayo Bello. So calling Tayo alone might not be okay. That is one side. GDP is the barometer which shows the sign and the direction of any economy. And when you have the strong GDP, definitely it shows that the economy is wealthy. By and large, we discover one thing, that the projection, even by the World Bank, is the GDP growth rate will be between 2 to maybe 4% on quarterly basis. We've been able to sustain it, unlike what happened in the previous year, that would mean 2020.
Okay, while we establish connection with Dr. Tayo Bello, we also display the front page of our sister publication, the National Economy.
National Economy today says, relief as PNB approves fresh 656 billion naira loan for 36 states. Relief as President Muhammad Buhari approves fresh 656 billion naira loan for 36 states, and each state to get 18 billion naira. And that is on National Economy today.
Yeah.
Leadership Newspaper's sister publication.
Yeah, this loan is called the Bridge Financing Facility from the federal government to the 36 states of the federation in order to actually enable them to pay their previous loan and also support their annual budget. What I don't get clear is why each state will get 18 billion equally, because I know their needs are different. The needs of Lagos State and Kano State, given their population and developmental needs, will be difficult and will be different from the need of a state like Kogi or Bayelsa, which are smaller in nature. But I know experts will actually tell us why this is so. I don't know if you have established connection with Dr. Tayo.
Dr. Tayo, are you with us?
Bello, development economist.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Tayo, let's go back.
GDP before the network problem emanated.
Exactly.
I now said that if you have a strong GDP, it shows that the economy is stable and is very strong. And by and large, I said it slides from 5.01% to 4.03%. That does not give us how would I put it, alarming template. We should just believe that it will continue to sustain itself. But where you have a GDP sliding down to maybe something like below 2% or that's from 5% to 2%, no, that will create a serious problem, and you have to look into that one. And in that case, it means certain things will have happened drastically to the economy. It might be as a result of demand shift. It might be as a result of government expenditure, which has already declined. But you see the way the government has been doing or packaging this economy, they try to sustain it so that they will not go back into the problem of what we call it again, recession. Where you have sliding GDP consecutively for 2 times, definitely there is a fear. And investors might be looking at it that this economy, that particular economy, is sliding to either recession or depression. If we take the GDP rate of what we have there and the value, we see that Nigerian GDP is about $445 billion. And that's about that's something in the economy. It's still quite okay if you compare Nigerian economy to other nations. We still believe Nigeria has a strong economy. It's only things that is maybe swinging from left to right. But by and large, I believe if we continue with the how will I put it, the tempo, the sustainability will be okay. Going back to the issue of bailout loan, there is no way the federal government itself knows that if the states are not supported, that is the end of the country. If you have 36 states that suddenly go into, how will I put it, economic problem, the federal government itself cannot survive. So it has to be a continuous bailout scheme. But the problem we are facing is, like you just mentioned, the state doesn't have the same economic problem. They don't use the money for the same thing. But when you now use a PR, 18 billion or 18 point something billion. So what is given to Ekiti State is given to Lagos State, is given to Kano State. How do you want them to do that? I thought the government should have maybe sought for the what we call it, views of the state government and seek what actually they need, what actually they require to maybe take them out of the place. Don't forget that this bailout scheme is to enable them to pay the money guaranteed by the federal government. It might not create economic liquidity. Are we there?
Yes.
Hello? Yes, it might not create, it might not create what is known as economic liquidity. It might not create it. It's because they borrowed money and it was the federal government that guaranteed that money. So in order not to create economic problem, okay, take this bailout. And this one will even lead us to why is the government borrowing on persistent basis? There's nothing wrong in borrowing, provided if the money borrowed is channeled towards productive means of productive sector. But may God forbid a bad situation, or may God save us, you will discover that at times this money will disappear to the thin air. And that's what is causing pressure, causing the serious pressure on Naira. When most of the government officials will collect money, patronize Burundi change, look for a way of changing the money into foreign currency. How would Naira not slide down? It's just simple economic theory. More of the something you are demanding for more foreign currency at the expense of the Naira. So the bailout scheme will continue. Despite the debt rate of Nigeria, the bailout scheme will continue. It's a continuous effort. And the policy the government is using now is continuous spending. If they should stop it, I can assure you, within few months or a quarter, we slide into serious recession. But I'm not saying they should continue to borrow without attaching that particular borrowing template into a platform. Can I explain myself further? If you borrow any amount of money, let that money be channeled towards a particular project or to projects that can. It is still better than a situation where you now see state governments, local governments, maybe will be unable to pay salaries. That would be terrible. And once that will happen, it means there will be economic shame, workers are able to get their salaries, inability to get the salary, that will decline in purchasing power. Lack of purchasing powers, the industries that are available will go down. Even banks and everything will be having problems. So any other ones so that we can discuss further?
Yes, we are with you, Dr. Bello.
But for want of time, I want to Dr. Bello. Now, finally, the bailout to 36 states of the Federation. Now, let me ask you, does it make economic sense that all the states we get 18 billion equally, given the fact that the developmental needs are different?
I've mentioned it, that it is bailout scheme, and it does not show that the government has been able to conduct a deep research or liaise with the state government. I mentioned it that you cannot compare the development something that's happening in Ekiti, that of that Safara, or in your state, that of that. But the government or the state government doesn't have the say. The federal government just decided of prorata basis that we are going to bail you out of this economic mess. Take 18 billion. It is not left for you to do it. And that's why majority of the states, we have to push in up and jump up their IGR. If they create a good IGR, definitely they don't have problem. Most of these things that you are talking about, Lagos State has been able to generate, and it has, how would I put it? Lagos State has maybe landed itself in a situation that they don't rely much on the allocation from the federation account. They don't rely on it. When Marwa was there as the administrator, I think it was 700 million naira per month. But when Tinubu came, it maybe increased it to about 7 billion. Before the Fashola rounded up his tenure, that's gotten to 30 billion. I don't know the present one, whether it's 40 billion or not. That's what they should do. And I think they are doing the same thing in Ogun State and other states of the Federation. The bottom line is, and what government should rely on, is that they should allow each state to survive on its own. And that's what's called fiscal federalism. But whatever they want to do now, they go to Abuja to even get the license for quarry. What is the business of the federal government that way? You have to go to your state, you have to go to Abuja. And that is why illegal mining, illegal economic activities are thriving. When you don't allow the state government that are very close to the people to have power of giving out something, people just get there. That's why the illegal mining activities of another state have started. Because it's only federal government that can stop them. It's only federal government that give them approval. So back to your questions, I think they should have done it in such a way, the way they normally grant or give maybe federal allocations to states. Because they don't receive the same thing. There are some states that normally receive about 10 billion in a month. There are some that receive about 2 billion in a month. Or you now did everything in such a way that they are receiving the same thing. Is that the disadvantage of the states that are that have more economic activities and have a lot of things to do. So that's my view. How do you give 18 billion to Lagos State and you give 18 billion to some other states that doesn't even have? Some states are not even more than a local government in Lagos State. Some states, in terms of the IGR and everything population, they are not up to a limit in Lagos State. So that's my thinking.
Thanks to you, Dr. Tayo.
Yes.
We hope to see more of you on this show whenever the need arises. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Dr. Tayo Bello is a development energy expert. Many thanks to you. Well, he has said a lot on the GDP story and the bailout to states, honestly speaking. And there is a need for policy makers to think out of the box to make the states survive on their own. Well, viewers, we need to go on a short break. When we come back, we examine the front pages of this day and the Nation newspaper. Don't go away. We'll be right back.